Thank you for staying with us. There's turmoil in Rivers State, physically and politically, as both may be related after a night fire that engulfed the State House of Assembly on Sunday. The lawmakers, led by the Speaker, Martin Amohale, woke up to dangle an impeachment notice in the face of Governor Similayi Fubara. But the embattled Governor Fubara declared that he has done nothing to warrant impeachment by the State House of Assembly. Addressing his supporters at the Assembly complex, the governor assured the people of the states of more dividends of democracy. Let's hear from Governor Fubara.
As the new speaker,
we wake up this morning with a very troubling news. We have gone to the assembly to see for ourselves what has happened. On my way there, I was shot at directly by the OC operation, or DC, or whatever they call him. Directly, it's not. But it doesn't matter. Somebody will die, one way or the other. Either you die inside your house, or you die on the road by something. But, so my journey today is, whatever it is that wants to happen, let it happen. If Siminalayi Fubara is impeached, I am not the first, neither will I be the last. Hold on. I'm saying if it happens. But what is important is any attempt that is not justified will be resisted. Let them come out. And tell Rivers people, that offense that is what I want. Come out and tell the people of Rivers State that offense that Fubara committed that is warranting impeachment. So, but my happiness this morning is the people of Rivers State, represented by every one of you here, is with us. I can go home and sleep. Let me assure you people that we will continue to defend you people. We will protect you people. And you will enjoy the dividend of democracy. Let me thank you again. I don't want to say more than this. At the appropriate time, I will address the press.
Meanwhile, the former governor of Ekiti State, Ayodele Fayose, saw this coming when he warned Governor Similayi Fubara to avoid clashing with his predecessor, Wike. Let's hear former Governor Ayodele Fayose. Oh, my producer is saying we don't have it yet. But Jude, coming to this now, I thought this is too early. I didn't expect this. I didn't expect.
Honeymoon period.
And talking about you want to impeach me, that's going for the jugular. And talking about, so what is happening in Rivers State?
Well, it's difficult for us to say with finality the origin of the clash between the FCT minister, Wike, and the governor of the state, Fubara. But what is clear is that there is a conflict, and this kind of conflict will yield casualties on both sides. And that is why I always advise outgoing governors not to bother themselves so much about who becomes their successor, and after the person has become your successor, trying to exert so much control. It's a futile thing. It's just that Nigerian politicians don't learn. We've discussed this many times here. Anyone who becomes a governor with a tremendous power in his hands will find it difficult to allow somebody to sit somewhere and exert tremendous influence on him. At that point, he will not remember how much you spent to put him in office. That's not how many Nigerians think. In our little spaces, we see people that we help, we bail them out when they are neck deep in water. But they demonstrate traits of ungrateful people. They are the ones who will gossip about you, call you names, they will say, you know, all this. It just tells you that, look, you can't expect everyone that you have helped to be appreciative or to continue to be subservient. That's clearly what this man doesn't want. That was clearly what the man in Edo didn't want. That was clearly what the former governor of Gombe State, Dan Kwambo, didn't want. In fact, Senator Goje claimed that from the moment Dan Kwambo was sworn in as governor, he never visited his house. It was the same story. I remember interviewing the governor, the current SGF. It was the same story that he told me about Senator Suswan.
Gabriel Suswan.
Yes. He was ungrateful, this and that. He told stories about how he visited him when he had nothing and all that. Well, that's what is called power. The former governor of Lagos State, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, told someone that you will know the meaning of power when you try your own son with it. Try your own son with power. You see the way even your own son will use the power that you give him. If you are not careful, what happened in one of the Arab nations could happen to you, where a son chased his father out of.
You are going too far now. What happened in Kwara?
Where a son chased his father was not in power. His father was just influential. I'm talking about somebody in power.
It's almost the same thing.
It's not the same thing, Ayo.
It's almost.
These are two different things. You are the president. Your son kicked you out as president and put himself there. Baba Oloye Saraki did not, Bukola Saraki did not kick a sitting governor or a sitting president out of office. Somebody kicked his father away as president of a country and sat there. They are not the same thing. Everywhere you have people who are influential, they have money, we have godfathers. We are talking about a situation in which your own son chased you out of power and he replaced you. They are not the same thing. They are not the same thing. Bukola Saraki retired his father as what was it called? As a godfather. Over the choice of, okay, it should be my sister that will become governor. Bukola didn't want to see that happen. He had inherited his father's structures. He retired his father because the father then went into a contest with him and lost in his bid to supplant, to put Gbemi. And it didn't stop there. Bukola had already inherited Gbemi's seat in the National Assembly. That's the painful thing about it, because not only did he put in Gbemi's place,
Himself.
Fatai, he went and also took Gbemi's senatorial seat. So I understand how that one happened. It's different. The people that I'm talking about chased his father away as president of a country and made himself president. It's not every time that such a thing happens, but that's the nature of power. And before that happened, Asiwaju has spoken about it to someone, that if you want to know what power means, test your son with it. You see the way your own son, when he realizes that he has power in his hands, you see the way he will behave. The way it is now, as I've said, there will be casualties on both sides. The governor can go against Wike's legacies. He can sack all of Wike's aides that are in his government. What are you going to do about that? Look at what is happening. They went to set ablaze the house. It is clear that it is people from the Rivers government that engineered that. It happened before in Edo State, where they set ablaze the house because they felt the house will move against a governor. So
they removed the slates.
Okay. Those ones didn't set ablaze. They removed the slates so that they can't sit.
Yeah.
I understand. I remember now. You are right on the money. But this one, they set it ablaze. So it's terrible what people would do. Stop investing too much in individuals. Imagine that, okay, they will remain loyal to you, they will remain subservient. No. People want to be their own man. My advice is that the president should step in and stop this matter from degenerating, because it is clear that both sides have clearly lost their heads, and they can do things that can potentially put the state, put people in the state under serious security.
So they simply declare.
Yes. So once somebody has become a governor, look, you've got to respect him. If you are treating him like your caddy as a golfer, you have to change. Respect his office, respect his person.
Okay, DKB, in this situation now, and very unusual of Governor he's on Wike now. He's still mute. We've not heard anything from him, but from what we heard from the governor, impeachment, is that not taking it too far, extreme? How many months to inauguration, after inauguration?
I thought the honeymoon will even last longer, knowing that Simi Fubara is not really a politician in the conventional sense of the word. And I think that one of the reasons why Wike picked him was he thought he would be a pushover. Well, the Yorubas have a saying, when you give a goat to the masquerade, you leave it with the rope. So you should allow the governor to settle down and then exert his influence on so many other ways than this. But Wike doesn't feel good when he's not fighting. He doesn't feel good when he's not fighting. Because I remember I was in Port Harcourt when he locked in a sitting governor, Rotimi Amechi, when he was then the junior minister for education. And he was running the state roughshod, even with the sitting governor sitting down. Just like Rotimi Amechi himself ran out Odili from Rivers for 8 good years. So Rivers has this tendency of inheritors, always going against their whatever you call it now, who put them in office. So to me, I'm sure something will be done. This is just what in table tennis, we call this one tossing. I think the real battle will come down the line. Because whatever he's doing this, he's trying to test the governor, resolve, basically, how to handle power. And he has shown that he's willing to fight for it. So I don't think this will go away soon. This is going to be a long battle. It's not going to be sprint.
Okay, before similarly to Fubara took office, and they had a reception in Port Harcourt, and this is what former Governor Ayo Fayose actually told the successor, that Governor Fubara.
My counsel is to you. God will help you. Don't see more than what you are supposed to see. The moment you want to see more than you are supposed to see, you begin to see spirit. Oh. I know Wike. Oh. I know Wike. Oh. Now, if he say he will fight you, it's either you surrender or you look for that trouble to the end. God will not find you Wike's problem. Oh.
Ginny, let's look at this politically now. I'm sure the People's Democratic Party, they might want to catch in on this, and I've been saying messages in solidarity with the governor. And we can't describe Governor Wike as one leg in PDP, one leg out. So what might be the political implication of Rivers State?
If I were the governor, if I were the minister, I would slow down. Because it's difficult to win this kind of fight. The worst can begin to happen before his eyes. Fubara will go and team up with Amechi. Because Amechi now is like a wounded lion. Since he lost in the primaries, he's been extremely bitter, more bitter than bitter leaf. And he does not like to even be seen in the company of members of his party. On the day of the inauguration, of the presidency, he was somewhere else in the company of people of a rival party. So that kind of person at this time will be happy to join Fubara to team up against
Wike.
Yes, and that is not what Wike would like to see happen. So the best thing, because I had even the House of Assembly, somebody who said is the speaker, I don't know whether he emerged legally, said that they are dissolving all the local governments, all the chairmen of local government are fired, and all that. I even read somewhere too that they are going to suspend the chief judge of the state. I said, this is madness.
Anarchy.
You cannot suspend chief judge. You've not got the power. Learn from what happened in Ekiti State. It is only the NJC that can punish a judicial officer. Where did you get the idea from that you can suspend?
One arm of government.
What they are trying to do is, if those people have some level of sympathy for Wike, they are trying to cut off Wike's head, leave him without people who can help him win this battle. Because if the judiciary is not on his side, with the chief judge gone, and they've chased away the local government chairman, they will not be able to mobilize support for him at their different levels. So it's a battle that it appears even the governor is ready for. Right now, he has sacked some of Wike's aides working in his government, and I'm sure he will continue. So when he teams up with, he would most likely team up with Wike's bitterest enemies, people like Amechi, people like the man who was governor for a few days.
Ehidoa. No, sorry. Celestino Omeha.
Celestine
Omeha.
You know, Wike restored. That's why I felt like the court affirmed that Celestine Omeha was never
a governor. Yeah.
Wike restored all that is due to a governor, gave to him.
The allowances, everything.
Immediately Wike saw that. Immediately Wike, he got the House to do that too. You see how they use House of Assembly in our country. Immediately Wike saw that, he teamed up with Atiku. He then got the House to fire him again.
And removed, and tell it to.
And all the money they paid to him that he should refund.
He should refund it before.
All the benefits that he got that he should refund. So he can now go, Fubara can go and team up with people like Celestine Omeha. This is how politicians work.
And the APC guys too.
And the faction of, because they are divided, the faction of APC in the state loyal to Amechi, you can go and team up with those ones to fight him. Because he too as I said to one of his supporters today, the best thing is for you people to come together, speak with your boss, get these two people to come back as one. In a case of no victor, no vanquished. This is not a contest.
You know the way the governor sounded.
Yes.
I'm saying it as like a point of no return.
No. I do not see it's politics now. He too has to speak like somebody in a position of strength. Okay. He has to show you that I am in a position of strength so that you too will retreat. So that when you retreat, you get your loyalists and their own loyalists to come together. They are the ones who will broker peace. And when they broker peace, you see them, they will hug one another. I said something, even this article saying all kinds of things about Tinubu. I said, no, I'm not analyzing that. I said I won't be surprised if one day you see the two of them hugging one another. I saw Asiwaju Tinubu and Olagunsoye Oyinlola hugging each other. And on the different sides of the political divide, their supporters killed one another. You know?
Bitter contest.
People died on both sides. But you saw them, immediately they hugged. My former boss, called me, said, you see why I always warn you that never take side with a politician. Can you see them? Can you see that they are hugging? Did you expect this? So don't rule anything out. It's their supporters who will facilitate a meeting, and you see that they will be reconciled. They say, oh, it's a family affair. We have resolved it. That is the best thing to do in the circumstance. Because the alternative will get the governor, the minister's fingers burnt. And we can point at, look at even this governor, the current governor of Gombe. He too fought Goje now, to the point that Goje's, I think, granddaughter was going to do a wedding. They stopped him from entering the state. So governors have enormous powers. Once you help them to get to office,
leave them alone.
Even if you don't leave them alone, show respect. Show respect. Don't treat them like yesterday's man that they were. No. With the kind of money coming into their hands, and is the financial officer of the state, he's seeing money coming that he has so much power over. He can turn somebody to a billionaire within a twinkle of an eye. That's power. So once he realized that it's me, is it me that I have all this power? When you want to cross his path, he will do his best to cross. He will do his best. So this is not my advice for the minister. I like him. He's one of the star boys of this administration. Let him make peace with his boy so that he can focus on the assignment that they gave him at the national level.
Talking about this impeachment, do you see it going anywhere?
No.
With the composition of the State House of Assembly now?
No, I don't think we'll get that far. Of course, there'll be a notice, there'll be all the normal fluffing, but I don't think we'll go that far, because the cost will be enormous, both to the minister and the governor. Despite all the the governor is doing, he's still a virgin when it comes to the real use of power. And the Yorubas have been saying that power is like an agbada. It doesn't fit you at first. After a while, it now looks like it was sold for you purposefully. A year down the line, yeah. But for now, it's better to make peace with his godfather, make sure he's properly seated. Then, because this battle may not even be for today. It will be because Wike's relevance in this administration is his ability to control rivers.
Yes. And
the resources of rivers, both in votes and in other. So he cannot afford to be isolated from his base so soon.
If he has no influence on his home state anymore, where is he going to exercise
his relevance
in Abuja?
Okay.
So he has to retain that control.
All right. Journalist Hangout and Babajide Kolade Utaju in the studio, Ganika Balogun too. And there's fire in the mountain in River State, and it's not so convenient to look at this situation and say, we know the rivers for development, we know what has been happening in River State, I can just imagine if Governor Fubara continues from where former Governor Wike stops, and
We
Rivers will
already,
become a
we
very-
already read about a bridge, an overhead bridge stretching through about 6 local governments that they plan, that the government plans to do. But some of the allegations against Fubara is that he's fraternizing with the opposition, with the enemies of the governor, after the governor helped him to get to office. Again, these things happen. It's not everybody that you help into office that has conscience. That's why I said initially that some people that you help them, they are neck deep in water, you help them out of the storm. It doesn't mean that they will not go against you. Even your own son can undermine you. So if Wike sees that somebody that he helps to get to power has suddenly turned against him, working with the opposition, criticizing some of his gas projects and all that, these things happen. He just has to manage him. So as I said, I still repeat what I said earlier, that the supporters of both of them, they have a big role to play to achieve a peace between both men, because the alternative is not good for the minister, neither is it even good for the state, because if they are setting ablaze property in the state, it is not to anyone's advantage. So I believe it's still possible for the two fighters to come together and make peace and focus on development.
Development of the state.
Yes.
Wike is like somebody that, in fact, he doesn't look back.
Yeah.
So, can he see this through?
Well,
How is he so on ground to the extent of removing a sitting governor and, the way he wants it?
well, he left power barely 6 months ago. So the influence and the people he put in place are not going to go away very soon. And the governor, no matter how much money at his disposal, cannot really get everybody to turn around immediately. So that's what I meant when I said it's going to be a long haul for that to happen. Ingratitude is part of human nature. And people have been saying that because you do somebody good deed doesn't mean they will not bite you. It's not really.
Doesn't mean they won't repay you with evil.
And besides, like we say in Ibadan, it's not really the moment you are expecting to be repaid by the person you've done good for. That means the good you did was selfish. Because most of the time it is assumed that the good you did will be repaid to your son or to your grandson down the line.
So people are not ready to repay anything.
So
that's why those.
a lot of people, why you
don't apply. Some people are not ready.
Some people
Your
are ready
son,
to
No, that's why it's
they are not
not
ready to repay. They are ready to repay you with evil.
stab you immediately.
Yes.
Look, I know people in this system that will do anything to bring down their boss. That's the nature of man. You can't really run away from it. But the best is that if you are a good person, continue to do good. My advice to Wike, like everybody else have said, is very simple. Make sure Rivers remains peaceful, remains politically relevant. And that's the only way for your own relevance.
All right.